I'm meteorologist Kate Mantych along with Andy Stein, and we're starting off that Tuesday with pretty much everyone seeing at least something to talk about.
I mean, those cameras really denoted what we're seeing outside. Yeah. There's snow, there's fog, there's rain. We have a lot of it all across the region. Let's start off.
Welcome back to Weather Nation. Starting off our Tuesday morning with most of the Northeast actually warmer and drier, but with the warmer air, we do have some freezing rain concerns.
Yeah, it's definitely warmer based off of what we have been lately, and it's warmer, but it's also just cold enough for us to see some of that freezing rain from us. We go up I-81 towards Watertown. There's going to be some of that we have to battle through this day today and also through tomorrow morning. So your Wednesday morning commute could be a little bit tricky.
Even into your Tuesday, as you just said, because some of us rain, snow across upstate New York into New Hampshire, Vermont, because out ahead of it we have some warmer temperatures. Then behind this cold front, colder, so it switches over to all snow for tomorrow morning, but it's still be a bit of a headache for some.
It's definitely going to be a headache, and it's going to be a headache to watch these temperatures tumble how they're going to. It's 55 in Paducah today, 50 in Indianapolis, 35 in Minneapolis, that was hard to say together, 47 in Boston, Massachusetts. It's going to be a little bit cool, but actually above normal for almost everybody across the Great Lakes.
Yeah, it will, and enjoy it while it lasts, because temperatures are going to be, especially for New York, up and down for the next few days. So today, it's warmer, then we drop down back to the 30s, and then a bit of a warm up, and then a cool down.
Yeah, just in time for Christmas. You have to stay with us throughout the hour to find out what's happening for your Christmas holiday. Chicago, Illinois, also doing a little bit of an up and down. Lower 50s today, followed by the mid 30s tomorrow.
Before we do have that major dip in the temperatures by the end of this week, but look to be staying dry until we get some snow chances near Christmas. But for the most part, it's a bit quieter across the Northeast.
And it definitely is. That's good news. But across the Southeast, it's not that quiet, and it's not that good of visibility out there. St. Petersburg, Florida, you can see at the airfield, normally we have some big buildings off in the distance.
Oh, yes, it is. I mean, it's just pouring across the coastal areas of Washington as well as Oregon. We desperately need the rain, though, down to south. LA, you're bone dry right now, still battling the Thomas fire for over 2 weeks now. It's the third largest wildfire in the state of California history. 271,000 acres long, big, and just rivaling that Rush fire, which is the second largest wildfire. Continuing to see containment go up, though, so that's the good news. 50% of it contained, and the winds are dying down for today across Southern California, but we're going to see that snow really picking up by today into even Wednesday morning. All these winter weather alerts in place because the strong low pressure system with a very strong cold front continues to push into the region. This morning, widespread snow and some much colder air pushes in behind it, with a lot of that snow starting to pick up as we head into your Wednesday. And Wednesday morning could see about 1 foot to 2 feet, even more in some of those higher elevations of the Rockies. You can find more on this, of course, plus other stories that are making headlines on WeatherNationTV.com.
Nice out there.
It was pretty nice, and really not too bad of a day, and also not too bad of a morning for a lot of places, because I'm seeing it's standing straight out to me. 54 degrees for your morning start in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah, it's pretty mild down there. We obviously have some southerly flow, some cloud cover, and some rain that was pushing through. Even the coldest temperature that I can find on this map, 35 in Peoria, is going to be an issue for your morning commute today.
It really isn't. Or if you're at that Air Force base taking off, I mean, I don't think you're going to. I think there are a lot of planes might be grounded across the southeast for this morning, because we just have a widespread fog all the way from Florida towards eastern Texas.
It's pretty impressive, the amount of fog that we have. I want to show you that right now. It's also a lot of rain off into the Pacific Northwest as well.
Yeah, we do have a lot of moisture there, continuing to see that as rain and some snow. That's why we have all of these winter weather alerts in place for today through the overnight hours into your Wednesday morning. Some of us. Welcome back to Weather Nation. Well, you guessed it, more fog again as you start your Tuesday morning. We have that widespread fog, dense in spots with limited visibility across especially eastern Texas into majority of Louisiana. So we will have to deal with some spots where we can't really see too far ahead of us. So if you're heading on the road for your Tuesday morning commute, make sure the low beams are on and you're taking it slow out there. Leave extra space between you and the car ahead of you. But this fog will be lifting relatively quickly as we head through the day. Temperatures are actually pretty darn warm for this morning too. I mean, look at this, 66 in Houston, starting off the day at 71 in Corpus Christi. Where we do have the cooler temperatures, that's where you have to work off towards Lubbock, Fort Stockton, Amarillo. We have those lower 40s and even upper 30s in spots. But where you find the warmth, that's across the coast, where we still are pumping in some southerly flow and lots of moisture. I mean, majority though of the region that is, are seeing temperatures much warmer than what they were just 24 hours ago. So we are going to keep on that warmer trend as we continue into today. But it also is going to be a rainier trend, which we need, of course, because we are still battling extreme drought, severe drought across Texarkana, especially into central and southern Arkansas. So we do need that rain, but we could come into some chances for an isolated severe storm today, or even localized flooding, as we will have some heavy pockets of rainfall because this low pressure system has developed and it has that warm front pushing through. That's where we're seeing all those warm temperatures this morning, and then we will also have that chance for an isolated chance for a severe storm by the afternoon and evening hours. That's why the Storm Prediction Center has out that marginal risk for Austin all the way towards Shreveport, even in towards Jackson, Mississippi. So as we continue to work off that warm front where those showers are forming, well, that's where we could see the chance for some damaging wind and also spin up isolated tornadoes. So pretty much everything's on the table for today. We are going to keep a very close eye on this, but make sure you're staying weather aware, have those alerts turned on in case one of those storms do turn severe and very strong. Now by the afternoon, we're going to be above average again today, back into the 60s and upper 50s across Oklahoma, warm one, where we're going to see more sunshine further off to the north. More rain showers, but also more 70s across Houston, Corpus Christi, even making it to 81 in Brownsville. Working off to the west, though, that's why you're finding the cooler temperatures that are still, though, only 60, so not too bad for this time of year. And then into Arkansas, we'll have the chance for showers and storms, clouds too, and 50s and 60s for highs. Working down to the south, where we have plenty of fog this morning. Fall will be lifting and temperatures will be rising into the upper 70s across southern Louisiana near 10 and south, and then we'll make it even into the upper 60s and low 70s closer to I-20. Now as we work into the evening and overnight hours, that front continues to push through, and that low pressure system, it's centered right over Arkansas by the early morning hours of our Wednesday. That means that most of the rain, it's pushing off to the east, but we'll still have a bit of a soggy start across Little Rock, Shreveport, even into Baton Rouge and Louisiana, where we still have those rain showers working out of the region. But look at Texas. I mean, things are improving pretty quickly. We'll have some cooler air working in, but we'll also have the clouds breaking and some much drier weather for the middle of our week on Wednesday. Temperatures, though, across the region will be a bit cooler once that low pressure system pushes out. We'll have 30 for your overnight low in Amarillo. We'll have a lot of us only dropping into the 40s, and yeah, we'll still be warmer across the coastal areas, but about 10 to even close to 15 degrees of a temperature drop in the past 24 hours. Now that system continues to push out, and look at that. Skies are clearing by the afternoon and evening hours, still a bit more across extreme eastern Oklahoma into Arkansas, but it's drier and the temperatures are going to be a bit cooler. For our day on Wednesday, since the showers and storms are pushing out, that's where that risk for thunderstorms and severe goes. We'll still have some showers, even a rumble of thunder too across mainly eastern and southern Louisiana, but we'll still talk about mainly just clearing skies for most of us. 60s and 70s across the region, but enjoy this while it lasts because a cold front's going to start to try to be pushing through by the end of this week into our weekend, which is going to drop our temperatures. We see that cold front right there. It's giving a major blast of cold air to majority of the country, and that is going to start to work into the south region as we head towards the end of the week. You start to see that cold air. So if you don't like the cold, enjoy the next few days before you just get blasted with teens, 20s, even some negative single digits.
Are definitely going to be out there for a lot of people. Even some big metropolitan areas like Denver and Minneapolis could be getting below zero. But for your travel forecast Friday, cold front's going to be moving through. This one in the high plains is actually going to be a reinforcing shot of some cold air. That first one bringing some rain to the central U.S.
Yeah, so we will see that from Dallas all the way up towards Nashville, even into Louisville. still, and even some of those snow chances across Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine. But most of the region are going to be seeing that more tricky travel into Saturday, because that's where we could see that cold air mixing in with that chance for precipitation, which means some wintry mix.
Wintry mix possible there, and just pure rain here for the southern ends of Louisiana and Texas and up through Tennessee. We'll have to watch that pretty closely, though, because as we get to our Sunday, that's when we could be talking about this cold air meeting up with some of that precipitation, some of that moisture. We may be talking about an icing event across the south, or the snow event there too. We'll just have to wait and see.
We will, because we will have all that cold air in place. This is going to be Christmas Eve, where just the jet stream is all the way down to the south, which means all that cold air can just pool into majority of the country.
Absolutely, and that's for Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, the cold air sets in even more, and when you see these purples and those dark magentas showing up, that's when we're talking about sub-zero temperatures, and there's a pretty big area of real estate that's going to be seeing some very cold temperatures.
So for Christmas Eve, even into Christmas, could have those dangerously cold temperatures in place across the north, and even into Atlanta. We'll have some warmer temperatures, but chances for some on and off rain showers throughout the weekend, even into some lingering on Christmas.
Yeah, it's not going to be the best work week here in Atlanta, and also Dallas, Texas, expecting some cooler temperatures eventually. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, highs are only going to be in the lower 40s.
In the 40s, and that Christmas Day is just 6 days away, and if you on Christmas on Monday want to track out Santa, we'll just head on over to our website, WeatherNation TV. We'll have Santa's location starting on Christmas Eve, and maybe even you want to stay inside and track him, because it's going to be definitely too cold to spend any time outdoors. But that is, once again, on Christmas Eve, you can start seeing exactly where he is, how many presents he's delivered. That's right on WeatherNationTV.com. But before we get to Christmas or Christmas Eve, we have to get through this next system that's working across the Northwest. Plenty are Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But before we get to that, we have to see that jet stream dip, Andy, because it's digging down to the south.
It definitely is, and that dig down is bringing us some of that snow. Are you ready?
Welcome back to Weather Nation. Well, we're starting off another day, and actually not starting off too cold yet. Keyword yet. Yet.
Yet. Yeah, temperatures, you really struggle to find temperatures below that 30-degree mark in Montana. Obviously, we have that. But you know what? It's going to be hard to find temperatures this warm as we head towards the end of the week.
Yeah, because a lot of us you're going to wish you had the 20s and 30s for highs, because it will be much colder by the end of the week. But this morning it's much warmer in spots, about 10 to even 15 degrees warmer.
It definitely is. But where we have some snow falling across the northern tier of the country, that's where we're seeing temperatures a little bit cooler than normal. Now, overall, the winds are a little bit gusty, 10 to 15, 20 mile per hour winds. But yesterday we had some extremely gusty winds as well here across the high plains.
Oh, we did. I mean, 81 miles per hour in Livingston, Montana. That is just gusting those winds through the region, and
that's
even all the way up. That is even up to 64 in Geyser, Montana.
It was pretty windy yesterday. The winds are dying off today, which is some good news, but that's going to come with a few more snow reports. We definitely are going to see this fill in as well. We have a lot more snow in the forecast today. Let's go ahead and bring you through.
Welcome back to Weather Nation. Well, we're starting off our Tuesday with a storm moving into the Pacific Northwest, and still rain across the Gulf of Mexico. Plenty of fog with it too, so we do have some trouble spots as you head the door. And as we get down to it and track it out in your live Viper radar, well, that's where we see just basically a lot of moisture working into eastern Texas and off into Louisiana and Oklahoma, and then off into the north. That's where we're seeing that next system working in. We're having rain across the coast, and then you're seeing into the higher elevations. Well, that switches over to snow, and a lot of us are going to see snow as we head into today, even into Wednesday and Thursday, because this system is going to pack a punch. We'll detail it more out in just a few minutes, but first we're going to talk about the rain continuing to push into the south and southeast. This morning across Austin into Sherman, Dallas, we have those even localized heavy downpours, some rumbles of thunder too for your commute. And with all that moisture that's in place, we have plenty of fog, causing some very limited visibilities on the road. So do take the low beams on and take it slow out there, even across Alabama into New Orleans, of lower Louisiana, and into eastern Texas is where we still have those dense fog advisories in place for this morning. And we're going to continue to see just gloomy conditions like this again in places like New Orleans, Louisiana. 66 right around the same dew point. That's why we have the fog. But it is starting to lift in other locations. Huntsville, you're seeing a bit more of the parking lot compared to just about an hour ago, but still the fog in the background, and things are really clearing up in places like Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, you're seeing the blue. Still, that fog is trying to melt away, but we will continue to see temperatures rising and the sun helping to warm us up and get us a bit less foggy. But you can see in pictures like and videos and footage, LaPorte, Texas, as well as Dallas, Texas, where we do have plenty of that fog and even some raindrops on the camera in Texas because, well, Dallas that is, because that's where we're having those showers and storm move through. Still tracking it out for you on your live Viper radar as 34 into 45. We're just having wet conditions that pushes off into Shreveport. So moving into northern Arkansas and Louisiana, and that's exactly where we could see some of these storms actually strengthening, organizing more by the time we head into the second half of our day. That's why we have that Storm Prediction Center risk for our marginal risk of an isolated strong to severe storm, mainly later. Once again, is that timing for this, and we'll track it out for you because right now we're just going to see those heavy downpours still working, some isolated thunderstorms, but it's not until later into the afternoon and evening hours we start to see this line really become a bit more organized, more linear into eastern Texas, into northern Louisiana and southern Oklahoma, and that's just going to give widespread downpours and even the chance for some damaging wind, gusts up to even 65 miles per hour as we do have that wind threat for today, and also isolated threat for a tornado could be spinning up as we do have plenty of spin with that low pressure system across the region, though that could be potentially working for that threat into Temple all the way towards Shreveport by the second half of today. And that risk for tomorrow shifts off to the east, so that moves into Mississippi, Alabama, as well as Georgia by the time we make it into our Wednesday afternoon, as that low pressure system just continues to work off and bringing heavy rain with it across the lower Ohio River Valley. And we're going to see plenty of it as we head today into the next few days, as rain just continues to stay in our forecast. And we'll see even up to 3 to 6 inches in places like southern Arkansas where we desperately need it. But too much of a good thing sometimes is bad, so we could have some isolated instances of flooding. So we are going to keep a very close eye for any ponding on the road, but also we really do need this. This is going to help that severe and extreme drought conditions that we have in central and southern Arkansas into eastern Texas and the Texarkana region, where we're going to see more of that rain working in, and even some snow. Well, that's out in the northwest. We talked about it just a few minutes ago, but you're seeing the rain pushing through Seattle this morning. Plenty of it too, as we will see.
Alrighty, we're taking you down to a southern and western suburb of Denver, Colorado. We're talking about Ken Carl, Colorado. This is just around Littleton, if you know the area. And look at the sunset that we had there. I feel like we always talk about Denver and their sunsets.
They're absolutely beautiful.
They're
I caught the one last night because we're located here. Yeah, I was actually not in bed yet before the sunset.
For it.
I was awake.
That's impressive.
This time.
Good for you.
We go to bed pretty early with this shift, so I miss a lot of the beautiful
That's the first question I always get. What time do you work in the morning? 2 a.m. What time do you wake up? 1 a.m. What time do you go to bed? About 4:30, 5:30 on a good day, hopefully.
So we missed those beautiful sunsets, but I got it last night. And there's also a beautiful one in Brighton, Utah. I mean, look at like the snow, the lifts out there. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous.
It's going to be nice, and we're actually expecting some more snow for the northern Utah mountains and also the northern Colorado Rockies. Maybe even Denver could be seeing some snow.
We could be seeing some snow. All of us are going to feel the cold. Yeah, this morning it's not too bad yet. Yeah. We have a lot of us in 20s and 30s across the region. Some of us dipping into the teens, but it's actually warmer than what it was for a lot of locations just 24 hours ago. It
was, and you know what? These temperatures that are pretty cold in teens and 20s, those are going to be our afternoon highs as we head towards the end of the week.
I'm not excited.
No.
Not at all. And we today into your forecast just have high pressure and control for a lot of us, but major changes are working in. So as we track this out, if you're traveling on Friday, temperatures will be much colder, but for much of the country, we're not going to deal with too much in the way of precipitation. We'll have this next shot of some cold air and some snow working in across the region. Then also we'll start to see that pushing through as we work into the south. The south and southeast still going to deal with some rain showers by the time we're heading out on the door on Friday to head home. And then on Saturday, we're going to see more of that rain engulf the Ohio River Valley into Texarkana region, and where it meets some of the cold, like St. Louis up towards Peoria, even into Dayton, Ohio, could have some of that freezing rain working in, because we do have some very cold air about to move in for the second half of this week, even into your holiday. But for most of us, we are going to see just a bitter cold by Friday and Saturday, and continuing even into Christmas Eve. On Saturday, or on Sunday, excuse me, we have that low dipping jet stream, which is just pulling in all that cold air from from the Arctic, excuse me, into even all down the way to the Atlantic. And then that just sticks around as we head into your holiday on the 25th on Monday. So it's going to be cold, and where those places have some precipitation, well, that will be where we do see the chance for a white Christmas. However, some of us will have some warmer temperatures still across the region, and we'll continue to see maybe the chance for some of those rain showers across for your day on Saturday, Sunday, into Monday. Now, for New York City, we're doing up and down for the next few days, but as we head towards your holiday and you're traveling, we're going to have some warmer temperatures, 50s and 40s. And so as we do have that low pressure system working in, we'll see some rain showers potentially as we head into your holiday. But Chicago, we could be seeing some snow showers as we work towards the end of the week, as we will have this cold air in place and also some moisture, but it's not going to be any substantial snow for the Windy City. But we're going to see substantial snow off to the northwest. Rain, too. That's where places like Seattle, they're seeing a 44 for the current temperature, and also plenty of rain still pushing through the region. And we'll continue to see all that rain working in for today into the next few days, because that low pressure system, it's going to be a major game changer for the entire country as we continue to see rain for the lower elevation, some moderate indicated by those oranges and yellows on your Viper radar. And that's going to give some heavy rainfall along I-5, but as you work up in elevation, that's where that snow is. Continue to push into the Bitterroots, even Great Falls of Montana. We have that snow mainly on the lighter side, some pockets of some good falling snow rates across Montana, but it's really just going to continue to increase as that low pressure system works across the western half of the United States. That's why we have all of these winter weather advisories in place today through tomorrow morning, even some of them into your Thursday. Now, as we track this out for you, this low pressure system, it's going to first move into the northwest, dig that strong cold front down all the way even into northern California by the morning hours tomorrow. Some heavy snow working into the Sierra Nevada range, and that also works into the Grand Tetons. But as that system continues to push through, that starts to even dig down to the south and east into the northern Colorado Rockies and Denver area by Thursday morning, seeing a lot of cold, a lot of wind, and potentially a bit of snow. Now, this system continues to just push off to the east over the Great Lakes. We're seeing those wraparound bands of some snow showers by our Thursday afternoon and evening. And then this is going to be the system that gives us all that rain for the south and southeast, and even that snow for the northeast as we head towards the end of the week and into our Christmas celebration. So we're going to pick up quite a bit of snow with this. Higher elevations could see even up to 2 feet plus in some spots, and even about a foot into the Colorado Rockies. Now off to the Midwest, that's where we'll pick up about 2 to 4 inches in some locations like northern Nebraska, even 4 to 8 into the Great Lakes region. And it's looking pretty good for those skiers out there. Grand Targhee in Wyoming, it looks great for all of that cold and snow to be working in. But it's going to be a major blast of some cold, because we will be seeing just as that jet stream dips down to the south. Welcome back. Well, you can spot a rainbow over the burn scars in Santa Barbara as they are continuing to drop water and battle the Thomas Fire over 2 weeks now. But hopefully that's an indication that changes are on the way. The end of the fire is imminent, because we definitely need it. But I mean, it's a nice sight to see a rainbow in just such a devastating area.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you obviously only get rainbows when you have moisture in the atmosphere, that most likely just coming from the airplane there.
Yeah.
But still, nonetheless, they're still battling the fires, and a lot of the fires at full containment, with the exception of the Thomas Fire,
which even grew another 500 acres since yesterday late morning. But the containment also grew to 50%.
It did, and that's good news. But if it grows anymore, even another 900 to 1,000 acres, it's going to be rivaling the second most expansive wildfire in California history right now, the Thomas Fire, in third place.
I mean, you can just say how large this fire is because when you are looking at it, even from this graphic, you see all that smoke still pluming, but you don't see it as expansive because the winds have been dying down yesterday and today.
And that's some good news because the Santa Anas have really been blowing. Let's talk about it.